Hi, this is Michael Neumann. This lesson is about practicing scales. I won't talk about any systems to use. Maybe I will do that another time. I just want to talk about how to practice the scales, because often students practice them like not very musically. And one thing you have to remember is anything you practice you should be able to use when you play. And if you play scales non-musical, how can you use that when you play? I mean, nobody will pay you a ticket for a concert when you play a scale that just sounds like a bunch of notes. Okay? Scales mostly in pieces, I mean all the pieces they are scales and arpeggios mostly. But if you play a scale in a piece of music, if say like a whole scale or more than that, what is it? I mean, it is actually to take you from one point to another with a color. I mean, the scale is a color, you know. But also, if you play it like just like a bunch of notes, it doesn't sound like anything. I mean, a bunch of notes. I mean, I don't know if I can do it, but like I don't know. But what I want to say is, you have to structure your scales. That means, if you practice a scale, you have to know what you're doing. Like when you play from, let's say, from a G major scale, from G, and you better go to the A above, to the 9, you know? Okay. Then you can go back and forth like this. And what I'm doing now is I play 4, 4, 4, you know? Because that is one thing you have to decide. When you play a scale, you have a structure in it. You play 4 notes or triples, whatever, but you have to decide it before you play. And also the listener has to hear what you're doing. You shouldn't like overdo it, like not like that, but just like a little. Like this. And that's important, because what you're doing is what that does to the scale is it makes it lead somewhere, you know. If you just play like notes, it doesn't lead anywhere. It's still. It stands still. It doesn't go anywhere. And that's music. We want it to lead somewhere, to go anywhere. So to go somewhere. I mean, so that's one thing you have to think about. And also, that means you have to take like little extra time on the stress notes. Like if you play like 4/4 groups in 4. There's a little more stress on the first. If you play triplets, it's like like this. Or you can play 5 notes. Like when I play 5 notes, I usually use like you can think in words like dalla piccola is a good thing to use. Daba daba da daba daba da. Like this, dalla piccola. Okay. So if you practice scales, don't practice them too fast, because it's also important that you are relaxed in your fingers. Because otherwise it will take longer time before you manage the scale, and it will take time to fix the mistakes you make. I mean, if you do it properly at once, it will take less time to achieve a good technique. So play them slow in the beginning, play them beautiful with a structure, so they lead somewhere, and yeah, that sounds like music. Okay. I have an example for you here. This is from Iber Pièce. And you see this notes, here's a 6, and 7, this is 8, and this is 9. So this I play in 2, 2, 2. This I play in 3, 4, 3, 4. This I play 4, 4 of course, and this 3, 3, 3. So when you practice it, you should practice it that you really can hear what you are doing, like this. Maybe it's too fast still. Like this. So you can hear like the 2, 2, the 3 and 4, and also the hopefully the 3. Then when you practice that for a while, it won't be so obvious later. It will actually sound more even than if you just play without thinking about what you're doing, which you actually never should do. You should never play without knowing what you're doing. So later it will sound like something like that, because the scale is just goes up and down, like the start point is the same note actually, except for there. And then of course this scale in itself, or the notes you're playing, that's a color. It's a colorization of the music, because you don't actually think about the single notes, you think about the color which the scale gives to the music. That's what it's for.